So this video is definitely again for entertainment purposes. Okay. Anyway, I want to continue with the topic, breaking down sex and sexual energy exchange, you know. It is a beautiful thing, Sex is a very beautiful thing. It's so powerful because you're dealing with your creative essence. You're dealing with the creative energy of the cosmos within you. You're dealing with that. It's the most creative essence. That's what causes life to continue. If nobody has sex, then life ceases. So, but the key thing to remember is that you don't just only create a baby. You create so much with your sexual energy. And majority of the times we are creating unconsciously. And that's why sometimes we create chaos for ourselves, because you don't realize that whatever thought on your mind while in the act, and whatever convicted emotions you've been feeling while in the act are being amplified, and thoughts/emotions manifest into our reality. So, if you don't know these things and then you're having sex unconsciously, then you can create problems because, like I've always said in my videos, if you have insecurities and while having sex you're focused on your insecurities while having an orgasm, then all that creative essence is going towards the insecurity. And then you can create an entity, non-visible entity that is attached to that insecurity. And every time that entity wants to feed, it wants to feed on what emotion created it, which is the insecure emotion. So it will trigger you to have thoughts to bring up back that insecurity so it can feed on that same insecure energy. This is deep conversation. This is no mediocre conversation for mediocre people. You got to understand this. You can't not create. You can't not create. You can't not manifest. Every day you're manifesting, every day you're creating. It's just that some people are not conscious of what they're creating, or some people are not creating deliberately. A majority of the times we are not creating deliberately, but on a subconscious level. So you got to reprogram your subconscious mind by substituting the bad habit with positive habits. And then, the habits naturally just get ingrained into the subconscious, and then it will just be repeating on its own, on itself. So you got to reflect, and you got to go back into your life. Go back to the very first times you started having sex. Bring the experiences back up mentally and observe them. See what emotional states you were in as much as possible. How you felt. What's the most traumatic sexual experience you've ever had? How did it affect your life onward from that moment? And then you have to reprogram yourself to give you the opposite result of that trauma. These things are so deep. It's not just simple as how human make it seems, as how regular human being make it seems. It's a very powerful thing you're playing with. It's the creative essence. It is. A lot of men are burnt out because they waste up their sexual energy and they fall into energetic debt. You gotta understand this, because when you're empty and your cells can't rejuvenate or absorb any more biophoton from the environment or from the sun, then you're gonna just be a dead man, because you can't replenish yourself and you can't generate any more orgasmic energy. And if you can't generate any more orgasmic creative life force energy, then what are you? A dead vessel. The soul is gonna have to depart from the body because the body can't amplify the soul. The body can't anchor the soul anymore. You got to understand these things. So on a deeper level, you have to have a proper energy management system where you don't waste your essence. And the biggest way how men leak energy is through sex. It's not through physical work or any of those things. It's because of that liquid sunlight that you've been releasing unnecessarily. In a stupid way. I'm not saying you should not release as a man, of course, but there's a time and place for everything. Are you trying to create a baby? What are you trying to create? Then why do you have the need or the desire to constantly release? And then every time you release, you feel empty after, ruin your relationships and all that kind of crap. Because then you're going to start projecting the emptiness on your woman as if she's the one who made you release when you had the trigger. It's crazy. And then you're going to feel the discard of life. And then it's going to create more. Your vibration is going to get dropped low because you don't have what it is that protect you, which is liquid sunlight. You don't have that protection in you. And when you don't have that protection, you're susceptible to entities who definitely want to, feed on your little emotional energies. You know what I mean? So they will definitely take advantage of you. And when your vibration is low, you can only create chaos and disharmonic things. So your relationship's gonna be feeling the disharmony from you being in a low vibrational state. While when your vibration is high, the relationship's gonna benefit from that. Because a high vibration pulls nothing but abundance, peace, prosperity. You know? PPP, purpose, purpose, passion, peace, prosperity. You know? Because ultimately, everything we do it for what? Peace. Peace of mind. Having a loving relationship give you peace of mind. Having proper money coming in give you peace of mind. Having a roof over your head give you peace of mind. Having a connection to your soul give you peace of mind. So your passion, and your purpose and the prosperity that comes give you the peace, the PPP. You get me? So it is very, 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 very important to understand sexual energy exchange, how it works, and you don't want to corrupt your woman as well, because you as the man, you have the active energy. You taking her into the act of intimacy. You are taking her into the sexual transmutation. You and her are transmuting sexual energy. You're like the driver. That's why you go in. You are giving. You are giving. She's receptive. You are giving. She's receptive. You understand? She's receptive of the vibration you choose to give her. When you nurture yourself with higher quality energy, higher quality consciousness, higher quality vibration, you're giving her fruit, giving her beautiful things. When you lower your vibration, you take her to hell. You can take her to hell and ruin her life. You got to understand these things. Her body is so magnetic, it magnetizes to whatever energy, that you are giving. If you're on demon time, on a low vibration, very, very low vibration, and you enter her, she feels it. And it pulls her down, especially after she has external orgasms. Because if she have an external orgasm while you're in a low vibration state, your energetic body is gonna pull her all the way down, and whatever demon is in the environment can be attached to her, or whatever demon that's on you can get transferred to her. So, and then it can ruin her. She can even develop all kind of mental illness from a result of that. And not just mental illness, it can be a very hard time for her to bounce back and find her feet. So you have to protect her as well. That's why you have the sword, the phallus, the penis, the sword. You're a swordsman. You gotta have an erect sword. You gotta know how to become a spiritual warrior. You gotta know how to have sexual kung fu. You can't just bring her down. You can't cut her down with the sword. You have to protect her. Have her standing behind the erect sword. These are all. I might be talking in like in a certain metaphysical way, but you got to understand these things. A flaccid penis symbolizes a loss of energy. A very hard erect penis symbolizes power. You gotta understand these things, man. And all these great architects, they show you. You always see the two column at the entrance of the building. You know what the two column represent? You know what the column represent? It's that hard penis. It's the hard penis erect power. It's power. So you got to understand these things, and then you have to learn how to. It's not easy. It's not an easy topic to demystify, but it's very important for people to understand these things. It's very, very important for people to understand these things, because sex is the biggest way how people ruin themselves, and it's the biggest way how people uplift themselves. If you understand how to attune to somebody sexually, and how to raise vibration and use the energy productively, use the energy to add benefits to your life, then you can have a wonderful relationship. But if you're on some low vibe, you can ruin yourself, because a lot of people don't even know you have more than one types of orgasm. You have internal orgasm and you have external orgasm. External orgasm, you use that to cleanse yourself, to release certain energies. But you have to know how to do that and when to do that. And you can also use it. It's you're basically emptying yourself. You're emptying whatever is going on in you. If you want to release a certain energy, you can empty the energy. You know what I mean? But you have to do it in a certain way where you still have protective energy. You can't run yourself too dry, because when you're too empty, then if the house is empty, it has space for things to come in. But if it's empty without any defense, then anything can come inside. And a lot of people get possessed by doing this because they practice external orgasm, where they constantly just empty themselves. And when you're empty, like I said, walk-ins, entities can walk into your being, into your body, into your avatar, and then you have a nightmare. So you got to know when to empty whatever energy that you want to empty. Most women, they empty themselves. Every woman empty themselves every month, because when they see their period is their body is cleaning all the energies outside. You know, that's why sometimes when a man energy is like when he has a whole heap of emotional trauma, or you know, like a lot of toxic energy, or just like a over, what do you call it now? Like his energy is overbearing and all that kind of stuff. It forces the woman to have an early period. You know, it forces, because the energy, when she absorbs all that energy, it's so strong, or it's so over bearing or whatever. It forces her her body, to protect herself, her body has to release all that. So it makes her period come quickly. Say her period was due to come next week, her period come this week. Or her period was due to come next month, it comes today. Because her body is under too much stress, the most emotional stress. Emotions are energy in motion. Too much energetic stress. Not necessarily because the guy have bad energy, but it just can be too much for her. So her body will just release all that quickly. So she'll have a period quickly and probably bleed a lot. And that's why when women are really stressed out, they have the most worst period, because their body just wants to release all that. Because a woman cleanses herself and renewed herself every month. A man can't clean and renew himself every month. How a man clean and renew himself is by emptying his nuts. But when you empty your nuts outside of a woman, it's destructive. That's when you as a man are susceptible to all type of entity attacks, because you don't have the sexual energy from her to protect you, because you're not outside of her. Hey, this conversation deep, eh? I didn't know. You know, so you got to understand, you know, when you and her have sex before you release, there's an energy that's being generated, or orgasmic organ energy being generated between the two people, because she's a negative pole, you're the positive pole, and together you're generating electromagnetic energy. And the electromagnetic energy that's generated, a large part of it creates a protective shield around both of you. So even if you release a little bit to purify yourself, it doesn't hurt you that much. But if you're not having proper sex, if you're not even lasting 1 minute and you're coming, you can't build that energetic field between you and the partner. So you have no protection. And when you're not, you go out into the streets, not and walk out into a nightclub full of demons, and demons attached to you. And when demons attached to you, ruin your life and ruin your family. And then you might even transfer the demon to your partner. So you see, don't look at demon as this ugly ass entity. It's not like that. It's just lower vibrational energy that feed on lower vibratory emotions. That's what it is. Fear, guilt, hatred, anger, all that kind of stuff. And if you have the lower vibration entity, it will forces you into thought pattern to rethink about the things that make you feel guilty. And when you're thinking about the things that making you feel guilty, your body will produce a guilt energy that it feeds on. And the more you think about the guilt, the more you feel it. And the more you feel it, the stronger hold it has on your life. You gotta understand these things. People don't talk about these things in mainstream media. So me giving you this video right now, I'm giving you a gem. You should be grateful. Genuinely. Genuinely. Because negative emotions are usually attached to an entity that feed on the negative emotion. That's why people who have anger issues, they always have an anger pattern. People who have jealousy issues, they have a jealousy pattern. People who have hateful issues, they have hateful pattern. Every negative emotion have a pattern, and it usually resurface every couple of days within the human being. And as the human being feel the lower vibration emotions, their energy because you cannot not create, you are creating that energy that feeds that entity. And the entity always wants to be fed. So it will always prompt you to act out or lash out or do things to reinstate that trauma. And that's why when you're having sex, you got to know these things. You got to know to only focus your attention while in the act of intimacy, While in the sexual union, you have to focus your attention only on things that will add value to your life, only on loving things. Focus your attention on your partner, focus your attention on the relationship, focus your attention on abundance, focus your attention on the things that you love about yourself or love about life. So that sexual energy can be, because a focused attention is concentrated thoughts. Concentrated thoughts is concentrated energy. Concentrated energy creates quicker and stronger. So when you focus your thought on a loving and you and your partner in bliss and love and all that kind of stuff, you are creating more of that because you cannot not create. As a soulful being, you cannot not create. So it's best to create consciously rather than to create unconsciously. Now, bam! Deeper we are going, we love to go deep. So listen. All right, anyway. Now, how you can use sex to help people to activate their own healing energies, their own healing power. Say you have a partner and you know that they're struggling with heart issues. When I say heart issues, they probably can't forgive, they're probably not really open into love, or they probably having like a little bit of heart palpitations or whatever. Anything within this energy center, you can channel you and that person's sexual energy up towards the heart and raises the vibration and nourishes the heart, that it boom breaks that trauma or breaks that energetic blockage in the heart area. So you know the octaves, do, re, mi, fa. Each one of those octaves represent a certain sexual energy center in the body, and also the vowels as well, so you can have conscious sex, which means you know that your partner is struggling with something around the heart area, you and your partner having sex, and then what you do, because you two are connected, so what you feel your partner usually feel. So what you do is, while having sex, you consciously amplify the energy in your heart area while having sex with your partner, and you feel loving things. Amplify the energy in your heart area while connected, while the two people is connected, while the phallus is inside of the ankh. You feel love. You think about loving things, loving thoughts, and you feel the energy being amplified in your heart area. Because as the energy amplified in your heart area, it amplifies in his or her heart area too. And if there's a blockage, and if that person is open to doing this as well, they can also try and feel the energy within their heart areas as well. And then when both people doing that at the very same time and concentrating their thoughts on that while thrusting, because every time you go in and out, it creates a sound, woof, 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 which is the energy being pulled from the phallus up into the vagina, up in the ankh, magnetizing the energy, pulling the energy up, and then it circulates to the partner and goes up into the head. And when they kiss you, it transfers from their tongue to your tongue, and it circulate back down your spine and goes back into the phallus. And then it creates a cosmic orbit where the sexual energy is looping between two people, clearing their energy centers. Bam! I'm giving you a gem. Now, if you and your partner, especially if you place the right hand, the left hand, because the left hand absorbs energy and the right hand gives energy. So if you place their left hand on their heart to absorb that energy, and then you place the right hand somewhere else on their body, and then while you're trusting, while you're sending, you're giving the energy, especially if you hey, deep conversation, So when you touch that individual on their heart area, and you're feeling your heart area amplifies, and they're feeling their heart area amplifies, and you both are concentrated on the heart, and then you're trusting on a rhythmatic level through the vagina, so it's creating a harmonic sound, zoom, 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 and then you recite the octave that is in alignment with the heart area, or you say, like for example, you and the energy travels right up and hit that black area in the heart center. You help the person release whatever blockage they have around their heart area, and usually it comes with forgiveness. They might need to forgive somebody or something, or forgive themselves. And usually then after sex, that thought will recite within their mind that they need to forgive a certain individual. And when they forgive the certain individual along with the sexual work that got put in, all that energy, boom, it free up that blockage. And then the person start embodying their heart energy more. And that's just one example. You don't have to do it with the heart. You can do it with the sexual organs as well. If they're having issues around reproduction, reproductivity, because of trauma or rape or abuse or whatever, you can even visualize the color, the orange color around their reproductive organs, and play on the sounds that stimulate that area, and also have focus your attention on that area while touching it, and having sex, putting that energy there. It's another way of I'm giving away so much gems today, man. You guys are so lucky. Yeah, but that's what it is. You give and you receive. So that's just a cycle of life. Everything, it's all a circle. But anyway, that's a beautiful way of doing it. And then just like when you have sex, you can pronounce different sounds, because sounds are words of vibration, and it activates certain parts of your partner. So when you're close to her ear and you say certain things, it pulls the sexual energy up further. It hits that spot. Goosebump coming on because she's feeling aligned and attuned. The key is to not externally release that energy quickly and allow that energy to circulate through the body, or have internal orgasms, which not many men. I feel sorry for men sometimes, man, because most of them don't even know these things. They can't even help their woman to have a full body internal orgasms. And you don't want to go around doing that to everybody too. Yeah, so it's a powerful topic. It's a very powerful topic, and sex is a big thing, man. It's not a small thing, and it's not something to take lightly or to just take part in an unconscious way. You need to be conscious of what you're doing. You need to be mindful. You need to understand how it works. You need to understand that it's a transfer of energy, and you need to use the energy to do things that will add value to your life. And don't just always forces your woman into external orgasms. And you as a man, you should not be forcing yourself into external orgasm too, because if you do that, you weaken yourself, and if you weaken yourself, you pull your woman down. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. It's a crazy thing. That's the number one reason why people relationship get blown apart or fall apart, because one person's feeling the discard is getting drained. You got to understand these things. You can't have your car and you don't put fuel in it. You can't have your battery and you don't charge it. It's gonna run out. So you gotta learn how to charge and maintain and retain the energy. And the more the man embodies and retain the energy, the more he's attractive to his woman. The more she's turned on even by his thoughts of him, or even just hearing his voice. You know what I mean? And when they practice sexual alchemy in a healthy way and have internal orgasms, which is energy inside, not releasing externally all the time, it creates a certain level of glow around and within those human beings. Within the couple, a glow, they glow, and people see it, because even when you're outside seeing them walking, talking, or holding hands or what, you can see the glow. You see the heart-to-heart connection, because they are not taking part in downward sexuality. They're taking part in upward sexuality. They're not just releasing their essence unconsciously, get a temporary pleasure, and then after releasing they feel like shit. While when you have internal orgasm, after releasing you feel so energized and passionate. So it's a deep thing. I need to make a video about how to have internal orgasms, or how to do sexual transmutation. I basically gave you a small understanding earlier when I said things like, focusing your attention on what you want while in the act, using the octaves, using words and sounds, to stimulate different parts of the body, to stimulate different energy centers, and like I said, no external orgasms. Try and focus mainly on having internal orgasm, which means you both retain the energy. You still have the blissful orgasmic feeling, but not with the external release. Or even if you have the liquid flow, the energy is still inside. The energy don't go out with the liquid. And men learn to have at least at least 15 minutes of sex before you rush to have an orgasm. Because a woman body don't get heat up as quick as a man body get heat up. If she thinks she get turned on quickly, wait until she have a full body orgasm. Hey, yeah, he in trouble. So at least, and 15 minutes is still short, but that's just like, that's just like the basic, at least 15 minutes so you can allow the energy to build up inside of her because you are generating energy. Imagine something that goes for 1 minute generating energy to compare to something that goes to half an hour generating energy. The one that goes longer generate more energy. You know what I mean? So you got to attune, ride the waves, be in harmony, just build it, build the momentum, build the momentum, build the momentum. When it builds a lot of momentum, it naturally just keep going. Anyway, that's it for today, man.